So these are your burrs. It's the top burr, and inside here is the bottom burr. When you're on 0, these burrs are screwed right down in pretty far till they're almost touching. As you get upwards of 30 and 40 on the dial, what you're essentially doing is unscrewing the burrs to create a gap. Because of that, you're exposing some threads. So if you stay in the 30 range to do pour-overs all the time, eventually you're not going to be able to get down to 0. So if you ever want to switch to espressos, it becomes more difficult. So once a year I take this thing apart, pull these burrs off, and I'll take a wire brush, just a standard wooden handle wire brush, and I'll stick it in between the burrs and I just spin. Usually just go counterclockwise. A bunch of times you'll see it clear the oil from the beans off the threads. Do the same with this one, with the top burr, a little elbow grease, clean up the threads, and then this will screw back down and you'll be able to take it all the way down to 0. So to put this back together, so you'll take it all the way down by hand until it stops. That's about it. And then you back it off until it's nice and loose. And then you actually turn it on. You're just gonna touch the button and let it go. And inside this is spinning. So as that's spinning, you're gonna slowly take it clockwise. So you're gonna go down until you just hear the burrs touch. So listen for it. So you hear that noise. And you back it off just a hair. Now this screw hole is important, and I'm going to mark it for you right now, because there's a detent screw in your hopper, and there's a little spot right here that has to be on this side. It has to be on the counterclockwise side of that little spot. So back your screws out. This, by the way, is exactly how you're going to get it in the mail. So you're going to take these screws out, holding onto them very carefully. I've dropped them down inside before and they come out fairly easily, but don't risk it. Just be careful. So there's a good chance this isn't really going to move much in shipping, so you should be good to go. But this screw hole with the mark is where this screw is going to go. So again, to be sure, when you get it in the mail, just back this off a little bit so it turns freely, plug it in, give it a little spin, and make sure that those burrs are just touching, and then back it off. And then at that point you'll be able to line up the screw holes so that when you spin this screw hits the little stopper right here, and you'll see that more clearly when you have it. Now when you're trying to line up the screw holes on the inside, you're going to need to hold this lever down. So insert this on this side of the stopper, push this down, and spin it until it hits that, and that should line up your screw holes. Now you're going to take this little black piece, if I can get it in focus. That's going to go in the top of the hopper, and then your screws go down inside of there. So I'll put all 3 screws right in this black piece. And then making sure my holes are lined up, I'll set this down. And there we are, right at 0. And it'll spin all the way up. So this thing just keeps going almost back to 0. If you do pour over, you're probably in the 35 range with a Chemex. I think I was at like 28 for a Hario, maybe 25. And I was around 15, 14 for espresso, but every machine and bean is different. Inside the hopper, are the 3 screw holes. It's kind of dark so you can't see. Trust me, they're there. You can see the silver one right there. So you might have some coffee beans covering up the screws. All you do is just jam a screwdriver down through them because they're roasted, they're brittle, and they'll break up out of your way without any trouble.